Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring Fabula Ultima TTJRPG. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this tabletop role-playing game that attempts to bring the Japanese video game RPG experience to your table, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about journeys and travels. While conflicts may be the most memorable moments of a game session, the exploration of the game world is another major aspect of Fabula Ultima. At the beginning of the game, your group will create the world together. However, this doesn't mean you know everything about it. While you may be familiar with the main regions and cities, there are plenty of discoveries and dangers awaiting our heroes. When a group embarks on a journey, the game master makes use of the map sheet to track their movements. The basic unit of this system is the travel day. It is the average distance covered during a single day on the map, assuming the characters are traveling on foot. The length of one travel day, when using your map sheet, must be established by the group during world creation. For each travel day required by the journey, perform the following steps. First, the game master determines the threat level of the areas traversed by the group. If more than a single threat level is present, only apply the highest. Then, perform a travel roll by rolling the die appropriate to the chosen threat level. On a 6 or higher, the group encounters a danger. On a 1, the group makes an unexpected discovery. The game master decides the location of each danger and discovery. If you need, mark its position on your map sheet. Following that, unless stopped by an encountered danger, the characters proceed to the next travel day, that is, you go back to step 1, or reach their destination. For the sake of simplicity, travel days should always be rounded up to the next whole number. A journey taking 2.5 days is rounded up to 3 days, for instance. The game master always has final say on how many travel days a journey will take. So you have sample areas such as traveling within villages, perhaps prairies, forests, mountains, frozen wastes, and the threat level is going to go up, of course. In villages, it's going to be minimal because of the security, but if you go into the wilderness, depending on the area, the threat level will go from medium to high to very high, and the travel roll will go from D6 to D8 to D10 and so forth. Needless to say, a frequently patrolled area under enemy control will count as a high or very high danger, just like a prairie overrun by hostile monsters. The game master has final say on the threat level for a given travel day. Now, when it comes to the encountered dangers, characters should generally be able to overcome a danger through a series of checks or a conflict scene. Perhaps an area plagued by extreme weather conditions such as sandstorms or bitter cold is encountered. Or maybe a ferocious and territorial monster or a group of hostile creatures. If you need to determine damage dealt by a danger, you use a table. For example, a danger suitable for a party of level 5 characters could deal a minor damage of 10, perhaps a heavy damage of 30. But if it's a danger matching the 20th level of a party, maybe the heavy damage will be 40 and the massive damage would be 60. Status effects are another good consequence for dangers. For instance, a polluted swamp could inflict the poisoned condition. While playing, the game master is free to add new landmarks, settlements, and similar features to the map sheet whenever it feels appropriate. This usually happens when the group encounters a new point of interest or dangerous area, or when they learn about it from someone. Players can also add new features and locations to the map by spending a Fabula point to add a new story element. When it comes to discoveries, they don't happen that often, so the game master should make sure each and every one of them is unique and useful. Perhaps you encounter a secluded village or safe haven unknown to most, or perhaps you stumble upon a precious item or piece of information. Remember that a discovery is always a good thing, even if it's a dangerous location. The reward it conceals should more than make up for it. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about dungeons. So when it comes to this exploration section, I think there is a certain disconnection with the rest of the rules. You have all of these freeform rules of, oh, your character doesn't die if you don't want that character to die, or you can manipulate the actions of non-player characters if you are successful in your skill. A lot of terrible advice, and some rules that feel more like an optional subsystem within the core system. But in this case, these exploration rules feel a bit like something you would encounter in a Dungeons and Dragons map crawl or hex crawl sort of situation. So I actually like this exploration system, but it feels too disconnected from the other mechanics, so it's a very weird situation. You could say that by itself, it is a good thing, but when measured with the other mechanics, it almost feels as if it was placed here in order to represent or recreate the random encounters of a video game RPG. A JRPG, you know, those situations like in Final Fantasy, you are moving through the map, old school Final Fantasy specifically, and suddenly the enemy comes out of nowhere, you don't even see the enemy coming. It feels like that, but it clashes with the freeform storytelling nature of the rest of the mechanics. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.